Oh, yeah?
Test.
soul. Why am I like this? Something's always amiss. Can't put my finger on it, but it's there.
What is up, guys? Welcome to Diggity, a video game podcast. I'm Jeff James. With me, as always, the incredible, unobtainable, luscious Brody. How are you?
Doing pretty good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I'm doing pretty good. I'm just, getting over a little bit of a cold. You and I came back from Vegas and had an enjoyable time. I was on death's bed for the last day of it, but, it's whatever. It's not a big deal. Got my hot tea. And I'm prepared. I'm prepared to speakish the English and do this podcast right, my guy. So.
Hell yeah. I know that because we weren't live last week. Last week it was
we weren't
pre-recorded. I
Yeah.
mean, we did go live on Tuesday, but
Yeah. No, it's
good to be back.
We're getting back into the frickin' saddle, man. This is our thing. This is our calling. For those who don't know, yes, I am slightly buzzed on cold medication. That's why this intro is a little awkward. But if you're joining us for the first time every single week, Brody,
I was reading our hate mail and trying to make sense of it. It's fantastic.
Yes. Every single week, Brody and I discuss gaming news from around the interwebs and beyond and bring it to your ears on every major podcast platform known to man, God, and civilization itself. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Diggity Podcast, and please subscribe to our podcast if you're listening for the first time, and also our YouTube channel or Twitch channel. So we go live every Thursday evening around 9 p.m. Eastern Time. Eastern Time is the best time zone. Change my mind. Never mind. Don't, because it is the fucking best, and nothing else beats it. Second to that,
as someone who has been in all of the U.S. Time zones in the last week, yes, absolutely, Eastern Time is best.
And in Arizona, where we went, what time is it here? They don't even know. But anyways, yeah, and then every Friday morning, if you can't catch us live, you can listen to the audio version of the stream, which is the podcast version, the butt crack of dawn every Friday morning. Get that in you. It's good. It's delicious. Woo! This tea tastes like shit, but it is my it is my tool to having a no cough life. So I will gladly accept it and utilize it. But with that, what have you been playing?
Oh, I've been playing Monster Hunter Stories 2. Not a whole lot. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting into it. A little slow moving for me so far, but I still enjoy it. It's taking a bit. I've been playing Monster Hunter Rise again. I actually just recently got back into that, like in the last couple of days. So really just hitting that pretty hard again. Played a little bit of Flight Simulator. I like it, but it's not for me. I like more of the arcadey like fight games. Yeah,
Dude,
something about it isn't. Yeah, I know. And I knew exactly what it was going into it, but I don't know. It just you can just be in the air and not feel like you're going anywhere for a very long time, and I don't find it enjoyable. Yeah, I know that's what it is, because people are gonna be like, "Well, it's a sim, bro." Yes, I know it's a sim, and that's why I said it's not for me. It's fantastic. It's gorgeous. It's cool. I crashed a plane in Las Vegas.
Oh my God, you would fly. Did you fly the Grand Canyon?
No, I didn't. I did like Grand Canyon. I did a couple other flights too. But I started going through like all the beginning training stuff where it's like, hey, you got to do this. Look around the cabin. It is mind numbing. Just absolutely mind numbing. But if you don't do it, you have no clue what the hell you're doing. But it's cool. And then last night we played a little bit of League of Legends, which was neat. I got my ass kicked, as I typically do when we play League, because I am not good at League. Literally level 10 in the game, and somebody asked me, first time playing this one of like 132 fucking characters or whatever. I'm like, yeah, no, it certainly is. First time playing 99% of the characters, so
that's League,
it's
though.
fine.
I mean, that
is League.
At
this point, like the people who are still playing it have been playing it for a long time, so it's very hard to be a newcomer into League at this point, I think.
I mean, I don't understand how people can pick it up. Like,
I
I mean,
haven't figured it
it's
out
fucking
yet.
confusing. And I mean, I played League from like almost day one, like
Yeah.
back in college, and like now, I find it fucking confusing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's extremely confusing, especially because we play ARAM, so I have to like figure out a new character every time.
Yeah, but
I
yeah,
I have no clue what I'm doing. It's fine.
yeah, no, absolutely.
What you been playing?
Boy, for me, I played a little bit of Ratchet and Clank. I'm so close to getting all the trophies in Venture Capitalist. I'm a piece of shit, I know, but I'm so close to getting them all. And then played League with you. I guess in the time, I mean, played Mario Golf on the plane. That was kind of nice. That
Yeah.
was good. Gosh, what else? City Skylines. Played a bit of that. I think that's it. I mean, we were on vacation. We didn't really play anything when we were on vacation.
No,
Played a slot machine.
yeah, yeah. Well, the slot machine played me, quite frankly.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, no, I played a little bit of Monster Hunter Stories 2, but very, very briefly. It was like falling asleep playing it one night, but that's about it.
You played the video game in Vegas? Oh,
A
that's
little
right. You
bit.
fell on the couch, and then Amber was like, "Hey, is Brody with you?" And then she didn't realize you were on the couch.
Yeah, I fell asleep on the couch because I was like, well, I'm not really tired. Everybody else is in bed. And so I just sat there and played a little bit and yeah, fell asleep on the couch and she thought I was dead. Like in a gutter somewhere.
Yeah, and I just never replied. So she thought I
That's
was an awful friend.
well, you were asleep. I mean, it was fair. It was like 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. I don't know what she expected.
No, right?
Nobody's gonna respond.
Not even respond if I'm awake.
This is also true.
Anyways, moving on. Let's get on to the news. So I guess we'll just do short and sweet piece on this. But basically, we've obviously heard of Blizzard being in doo-doo. Big doo-doo. Big doo-doo. Jesus, doo-doo. Essentially, the situation on it, for the Cole's notes on it, is there's been multiple reports, and it's kind of happened over the last year and a half. There's been like little bits coming out, but now this is kind of like the big point, and like the fact that they're getting sued, right,
Yeah.
for it, from everything from equal pay and kind of equal rights for females being able to get up to higher positions in the company, and the suit claims that it's unobtainable for them to do so, just by the patronizing bullshit within the culture of the company, as well as overall just the dudes just don't want women on the board or want women in higher positions of power. I guess I assume I could take from that. So there's that lawsuit. The secondary part is that there's sexual harassment claims. There's kind of like sexual bribery claims in some ways, where higher ups are saying, hey, you can have a promotion if you sleep with me, which that's not great. And then one of the other ones was just the frat-like, and this is a quote, the frat-like behavior and culture within the company between management, and the fact that HR knew about a bunch of stuff and didn't do anything about it. So in the developments beyond what has now happened with this is that Blizzard employees and Activision employees did essentially a strike, a walkout, and they basically stopped all production on games, and I think they're still stopped a bunch of production on games. Like they're still like kind of in the middle of all this, and the company's kind of like, we need to halt all this shit, and they're kind of in this really weird spot right now. And a lot of games could definitely use updates. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, it's bad. It's terrible. It's not great. It's awful to hear. The one thing I would like to say on it is that, first of all, I think everything that is in front of us here about this is fucking terrible. Like, that just sounds awful. That sounds like a terrible work environment. It sounds like a terrible culture, and it sounds like some crazy shit went on that should have never went on. But the secondary thing to it too is like, unfortunately, I feel like it's losing momentum. And I don't mean that, unfortunately, from the aspect of like it being news and we're a news program. I mean, like, unfortunately, I feel like it's losing steam because there's been other people and other groups that have attached to this issue that while their issues are also concerning, but may not be relevant to this exact situation of what happened, it's diluting what happened. And I think it's causing it to not get as much steam as it should have. Does that make sense?
No, I'm following what you're saying.
Like,
Right.
yeah.
I
Like,
mean, at this point now, instead of it just being this issue specifically within Activision, it has now evolved into Ubisoft. Employees are going after Ubisoft as well, which is, I mean, by all rights, you should, right? If the work conditions are shit, you should. But yeah, it seems like some of this is starting to trail off. Like you said, now there's so many other things coming up too, which is good, and I'm glad that this could be a catalyst for that. But
yeah.
I hope that this does get seen through and it doesn't, Activision doesn't just wait for this to blow over and that's the end of it.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I think this might happen.
And that's what has happened at Riot in the past. I mean, how many times have we talked about Riot in this exact same situation? Like,
yeah, well, and like that's my thing. Like, I think
thing.
people mean well, like when they want to bring up their other issues, not even in video games, but like just with other generalized issues. But when you bring it and then you start trying to represent the people who are representing a key issue, I think it dilutes the problem. Like I don't know. I just think everyone has shiny object syndrome nowadays. Mm-hmm. And instead of like being like, here's the problem, let's solve the problem. It's like, here's the problem, and then let's layer on 8 other problems, and then like a quarter of each problem gets solved, rather than the specific problem we started out with actually being solved, and then working on to the next one. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we can't multitask as humans.
No, we surely can't. And yeah, I mean, there's still things that are coming in. I know today I saw something about Activision Blizzard has hired a union buster, like one of the top union buster law firms.
Yeah.
So it's not over by any means, and I'm glad, hopefully this walkout actually did some good. But I mean, from what we've seen in the past, I don't know if this is going to take care of it or not. I mean, quite frankly, we've seen.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Like I said, we've seen Riot how many different times in the news for this same kind of shit, and nothing comes of it. But I mean, we'll see. Only time will tell, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I also want to state too that like, I think obviously all employees that work at Blizzard and Activision don't want to see something that that was described happen in their studio. But when they signed the petition, only like 20% of the company signed it, or 30% of the company signed it. So the people striking necessarily also walking out and shit, it's not a reflection of the entire company. And that's not a stance by me. That's just a fact. Like that's just what happened. Because I mean, other news programs make it sound like it's like every fucking employee walked out. That's not the case. It was they had signatures, and 30% of the company essentially signed with the signatures. And then we've had tweets from former employees, basically backing up the accusations, of these things taking place. But so that's that on the Blizzard stuff. They're in deep shit. I mean, here's the problem. Once again, and this isn't. I'm not blaming gamers for doing any of this at all. But once again, gamers get fucked on this because now there's not going to be updates for shit. They're going to be behind on things. It's probably going to have an internal investigation. It's a publicly traded fucking company, so shareholders are going to demand an investigation, and it's gonna cripple them.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a problem. I mean, this is about as kind of short and sweet as we wanted to keep this because, for one, we don't work for Activision Blizzard, so we can't actually speak to any of this.
Yeah.
And we'd be wrong to not mention it in the episode. So we wanted to mention it in case you somehow have not heard about this week, which I would find almost absolutely incredible. But that's, like I said, we're acknowledging it and going.
Hope it gets fixed. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we did get some good news today, though, amid all the awful news. So the first PS5 software beta is here. So this beta is available to users who signed up for the program in the US, Canada, Japan, the UK, Germany, and France. The first big portion of this update is the M2 SSD expandable storage has now somewhat been unlocked, which a couple weeks ago, I'm going to say we were wrong on this.
Oh
We-
yeah,
we
for sure.
actually-
We're totally wrong. I thought this was going to be like way down the road only because of supply chain stuff.
Right. So there is a very detailed rundown from Sony on what SSD needs to support, and as well as a warning about watching for like cooling requirements, as well as if it has a heat sink, making sure it actually fits inside and things like that. So a lot of this is open, but there's a lot of red tape. Be
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very, very careful.
I want to definitely double down on the heat sink side of stuff. So be really careful when you get these M.2 drives. People, it is kind of a newer technology into console gamers who aren't PC gamers. M.2 drives can get extremely hot. Extremely hot. I mean, this is an enclosure here, and then I've got an M.2 inside of this. I use this for my chia mining. And this shit gets so hot, it's absurd. Like when it mines, now mind you, I'm mining off of it, so it's working overtime as my miner. But when it gets hot, like I have to have the enclosure open, and then it sits on a giant block of aluminum.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and let's not kid ourselves, that's fucking plastic. The PS5 is plastic.
Absolutely.
Like, do not do anything until there is proper information out about what you need to do. And, it's kind of stunning to me, the info they gave us for it, because it's not super like, please buy this. And I feel like it's just going to turn into shit where it's like, my PS5 just melted.
Right.
What are you going to do about it, Sony?
Especially in a world where, like, I mean, typically if you're gaming on console, it's because you don't want to fuck around with all the extra stuff, right?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
Otherwise, you could game on PC. But I don't really care for how they rolled this out, because they made it sound like they weren't even going to open this up until they actually had done significant research to find out which ones actually work properly and which ones do not. So this is a little bit more open-ended. So be very, very careful. And I would assume this is the full-on Diggity response to this. Just wait a little bit longer, as some companies like Digital Foundry and some of these other bigger YouTube channels and stuff, they're going to put out some information on things they have actually tested to make sure that they work. There will be complete lists online, whether it be through Reddit or wherever. There will be compiled lists for this, so just wait a little bit longer. I know it sucks because my storage is full too, but wait and make sure you're getting something that isn't going to turn your PS5 into a puddle in your fucking living room. If you're not going to wait, do a lot of research.
It's a big investment too. It
is.
$100.
These are not cheap. No. And everybody that was kind of knocking on Xbox for their proprietary Seagate thing, like, honestly, their prices on that proprietary Seagate are probably going to be cheaper than what you're going to pay for a decent M2. So good luck. 3D audio support is now being added for built-in TV speakers. So to accomplish this, the PS5 will actually use the DualSense controller to measure the acoustics of the room and make audio changes as needed, which is pretty insane.
Yeah, it's insane, but it's also, I'm curious to see how good it works sense. Because it's not a great mic.
No, it's really not.
It's not like it's like a spatial mic. I mean, like it's a pretty bare bones microphone in that controller.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how well that actually works. But even then, I mean, I don't know if you don't get 3D set up right, it's gonna be really fucky. Like, it's not gonna be great.
Yeah, it's not gonna be great at all.
Like when the PS5 first launched, the 3D audio was awful. Like, just in the first game, I think I was playing Valhalla, and it sounded so bad. I ended up turning it off. I don't even use it currently, but I was also using a headset that didn't really support 3D audio, so that was part of it too. So, some other notable updates. There are also now more personalization options for the control center interface, as well as message support within game base, which is cool, because before you had to basically hop out of whatever game you were playing to go in and send a message properly. The Friends tab is getting a much needed update, which some of that was still a little bit foggy as to what it was going to be, but it was going to be a little bit more straightforward, just cleaned up more or less. Some of the PS PS4 and PS5 versions of game confusion where you don't know which version you have, which is very easy to do. That's supposed to be getting cleaned up now to where it's a little bit more obvious which version you have and which version you are able to play, I guess. A slightly better trophy tracker in the control center that now tracks 5 trophies per game. And from what I'm hearing, it's vertical. I haven't gotten to actually check this out. I think I signed up for the beta
That's
program.
pretty odd because the rest of the UI is horizontal.
It's a little weird. Like I said, I just read one brief thing where somebody's like, it's vertical. I'm like, oh, okay. So take that with a grain of salt. I have not gotten to see this yet properly, but it wouldn't make any sense to me to have this vertical when everything else is horizontal. But
yeah, well, and also a TV's real estate is a lot better horizontal.
Than, right. PlayStation now has the option to pick between 720 and 1080p. So I guess if you have like bad internet or whatever, sure, I guess
yourself and want to play.
Or you hate yourself and want to play 720p. And a automatic video clip is being added for PS5 players competing for high scores in various different games, which the PS5 already takes a shitload of clips all by itself.
It's annoying.
Absolutely insane. It's like back, I remember on the Xbox One when you play Madden, like every time you scored a touchdown, it would take a clip. It's awful, especially if you're playing through like against just a computer and you're putting up stupid amounts of points. It just, we'll record that. So you keep an eye on that. But I mean, this is a good idea, I guess. But I feel like most people who are going for high scores and really want that video are probably recording it already.
Yeah. Jesus Christ, did you just hear that?
No.
Oh my God. It's like the wife just like threw something through a fucking wall. Oh my God. Yeah, I mean, this is all great. This is all great. A step in the right direction. Doesn't have what we'd like to see, which is themes.
Yeah.
As you and I have expressed numerous times on the show, bring us themes, damn it.
I don't know if they're ever going to do it, quite frankly. Just because of the way it's set up now, it transitions with each, like as you go through the games, it'll show its own like little image for each game.
That's true, I guess. And before it was just kind of like it would fade out and be dark. I mean, the thing is too, is like Sony wasn't making the themes. It was the devs all the time making the themes.
Right.
So at least there was that, but I don't know. I mean,
it's more money too, though. I mean, like what we've said with Nintendo, it seems like a pretty easy cash grab that nobody's really going to get upset about.
I could definitely see it where, like on the home screen for the PS5 right now, you could have like your main hero in the game or your main character in the game be standing on like the left, and there's just like a nice like scene, on the rest of the right, and they can just stand there like static and like move or bob or something like that. That'd be great, I mean, also, like, you doing, like, lines or dots or something like that would be fine. But, like, you look back at, like, PSP, and you say, like, the animations. They had themes where, like, they had completely different animations.
Oh, yeah. That's how it was on PS4, too. I bought a Persona one, actually, and it was really fucking cool. And I want it back.
We'll never get it, buddy. We'll never get it. Anyway, speaking of PlayStation, here's your PlayStation Plus games for August. So you get Hunter's Arena Legends and Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville, as well as Tennis World Tour 2. So a little bit weak of a month, but
it's not
whatever.
great.
It's not great, but I feel like Plants vs. Zombies is on either PlayStation or Xbox Games with Gold every other month.
The Battle for Neighborville one didn't seem to do very well either. That was the one they released in like early access and then had a full release, and by the time it came out fully, it was not doing so hot. Mm-hmm. My kids have played it. I've played a little bit of it. And the kids have said that they basically like what was it, Garden Warfare 2?
Yeah.
The best. So I don't know. It's fine. I could not possibly care any less about the Tennis World Tour. And the Hunter's Arena looks okay. I'll probably give it a go, but I can't foresee myself playing it for very long. Mm-hmm. So on the other hand of things, Xbox Games with Gold for August. So you can get Darksiders 3, which will be available August 1st to the 31st. Ukulele, available August 16th to September 15th. Lost Planet 3, which will be available August 1st to the 15th, and Garrow, Mark of the Wolves will be available August 16th to the 31st.
I think Xbox probably won this month. I mean, Darksiders 3 and Ukulele, that's pretty good.
Yeah, Ukulele's pretty cool. Darksiders 3 is all right. That one didn't get a whole lot of love from Darksiders fans. Lost Planet 3 is all right. I don't know. I'm not super stoked about either of them, to be perfectly honest. But that's fine. I usually am not. I mean, every once in a while, PlayStation will put something out there that I'm pretty excited to see, or I didn't already purchase at some point in time. But
Well, how about I make you even more pumped up with our famous delays of the week?
hey,
Okay, so Crimson Desert, this was expected to launch sometime this year, but has now been delayed with no estimated date in sight. So that's a great one.
borderline indefinite.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Then you got Kenna Bridge of Spirits. This has been delayed from its original release date of August 24th now to September 21st, so just under a month. And then Digimon Survive has been delayed yet again from this year to now Q3 of 2022. Q3
big ass delay
of 2022. A year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
This was also originally supposed to release in 2019, mind you.
Yeah. Some weird
It
shit
just
going on
keeps
with
getting
that one.
pushed back. I wouldn't touch that game with a 10-foot fucking pole at this point.
No.
Like, there's no way. I do not foresee this coming out in a decent manner. I mean, it kind of has Cyberpunk vibes all over it to me, with this often being delayed like multiple times, and I don't.
I can't
I don't
believe
know,
how
man.
big Digimon still is.
People love the games. Like Cyber Sleuth did really well for
The
I'm
game on
drawing a
GameCube was the best one.
Yeah. Like
Which
people
one was that
love Cyber Sleuth for sure. So everybody was really excited about this, and I remember seeing it for that first time back in 2019.
Digimon World 4.
Yeah.
Unbelievable game.
I remember seeing this when they first kind of showed it off, and it looks really, really cool. It just sounds like they're having some terrible, terrible time getting this thing actually done and out the door.
Good luck. I definitely will take a look at it, but like you, I'm a little worried when they kind of go, hey, we need another year. It's like,
After
oof.
taking 2 more years, yeah, it's a little concerning for sure. So Monster Hunter Rise is getting an Okami collaboration, which is pretty cool. So the second big Capcom collaboration for Rise brings Okami's oh my god, I'm gonna fuck his name up big time. It's Ami, whatever. I've played Okami too. I just can't think of how to fucking say his
Amaterasu.
name. Amaterasu. It sounds like a dessert.
Amaterasu, I think.
Amaterasu.
I'm going to say
Okay.
Amaterasu, yeah.
Cool. Ami. It's fucking Ami from Okami, okay?
Okay, Ami Okami.
As a layered armor for your beloved Palamute, and even has special animations and effects such as a flower trail when moving or jumping onto a wall, which is pretty neat. As is typical the Monster Hunter collabs, this content will be available from completing certain event quests, which will be probably a high rank of some sort.
This is pretty awesome to see. Like a collab like this.
Yeah, this one's really, really cool.
This is cool.
For sure.
I dig this a lot. He may have been able to keep you on live support, but he can't keep himself on live support. Nintendo is pulling the plug on Dr. Mario World.
Oh boy.
It's over. He's done. Beep! As it resounds down the hallway. The mobile game has lasted nearly 2 years, but will officially end service on November 1st. After the end of service, the game will be entirely unplayable, but you'll be able to look back at your play history and Dr. Mario World memories. A webpage
Thrilling.
that will be available after the service ends. Diamonds, the purchasable currency, is also no longer available right now to purchase. So it's over. He's dead. It's over. Game's dead. Game's gone. If you're a huge Dr. Mario World fan, you can get in there and you can go to a poorly designed website and look at your memories of playing that game. You know, because it was just such a hit.
Yeah, I mean, hence why it's being taken off the market after 2 years, but whatever. I remember covering this when it came out, and we both played it, and we're like, cool.
I was like,
It's
this is
fucking, it's Dr. Mario, I guess. God, it's like a bad, or not even a bad version. It's just like another version of Candy Crush, which there's already like 9,000 of, right? But I
Yes.
mean, Candy Crush has such a stranglehold on that market in the mobile realm right now.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Candy
Dr.
Struck
Mario was
killed Dr.
first
Mario
before
World.
somebody fucking gets pissed off. Oh, wow. No shit. But yeah, it wasn't fun.
Nintendo would be the only company though to like, or this is such a Nintendo thing because there's shit that they've killed that people actually enjoyed, and they would never do a website for or like merchandise or anything, and then something that actually no one gives a shit about, they actually make a website for
Oh, yeah, that sounds
to keep
about
your
right.
shit. It's just so Nintendo. It's incredible. I love it.
So consoles are still very much alive,
No, they're
despite
not.
what
Everybody tells me consoles are dead, Brody. What are you talking about?
Right.
You're
Despite all
crazy.
the brilliant analysts that have decided that consoles are now dying and PC gaming's rising up. Most people just do both anymore, so there's that. Anyway, Microsoft recently stated in a conference call that the Series X and Series S are the fastest selling Xbox consoles ever. I did come across a number that said it was about 6.5 to 7 million, but I don't know if that's technically official because Microsoft usually keeps pretty tight-lipped on their sales numbers as far as consoles go. Sony, on the other hand, is not keeping tight-lipped
No.
about it at all,
Put the dick on the
screaming
table.
from the mountain. Sony just announced that they have crossed the 10 million milestone across both SKUs of the PS5, also making it the fastest-selling Sony console, beating the PS4 by just a month, which it's got to be up there and pretty close to one of the fastest-selling consoles, period.
What's
but,
more stunning to me is imagine if we had more of these consoles.
Oh, I know. It would
It'd
have
probably be at 15 mil, I bet you.
Oh, easily. I would say both of these could sell through anything that they would have had ready to go easily.
Yeah.
I don't even think you'd be seeing like Xboxes
I mean,
on the
do you think that that's also though the
ship to
time?
retailers.
Well, no, the time.
Okay.
Like the fact that these sales, like obviously console gaming is still popular, right?
Yeah,
Obviously
clearly.
by these numbers. But do you think that these numbers in any way, shape, or form got artificially inflated a bit? Kind of like the Nintendo Switch with COVID and people being at home and stimulus, and then people being like, I'm going to get something that can fucking entertain myself because I can't do anything.
I don't think so. I think I would say at least the first 10 million of these easily would have been bought by people who wanted them right off the bat anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the PlayStation 4, like they're well over 100 million at this point for consoles sold. And I mean, granted, it's been 7 years or whatever, but 7 or 8 years, but I think they definitely would have sold through at least 10 million pretty easily just from people that were going to buy it day one regardless.
Okay.
But yeah, and a lot of this, I mean, people are like, well, this is scalpers. I mean, a good portion of it is,
That
but a
doesn't
good
fucking
portion of
matter
it
because the
it
people
doesn't matter.
who would want it
Yeah.
don't have it because of fucking scalpers. I mean, they would have sold 10 million.
Oh,
They
easily.
would have sold probably 15 fucking million if they could.
Yeah, if they had them available, they easily would have sold through that for
Yeah.
sure. But I also was talking with the wife today, and this is, I mean, aside from the Switch, the only other time I remember there being like a console shortage quite like this was like the Wii. Like this is
I agree.
crazy how hard it is to find these fucking things. It's almost depressing. Like if you walk through a fucking Walmart or Target
yeah.
or whatever, like there's just nothing.
Bro, and it's not even just the consoles, it's the controllers. It's the fucking
Everything.
it's the fucking media remotes. It's the
Oh, yeah.
fucking headsets, it's everything. But I had the same discussion with my wife too, and I was like, I think a lot of it also is like, she's like, well, she's like, if they had more, do you think there'd be more stuff on the shelf? I'm like, I think they'd all be fucking gone. I mean, it's just such a quantum leap in console gaming by a graphical standpoint, and especially on the controller side for the PS5, that I think has gained a lot more merit. I mean, enough so that oh my God, P3. Sorry, good Lord, almost forgot our Lord and Savior P3. P3, is making note of like we like what they did with the controller. We might be thinking about doing that. These are. I mean, it's crazy how much this is sold. It's wild.
So Sony also gave some other sales updates for software, however. So this is Spider-Man Miles Morales. It has sold 6.5 million copies, and of course, this is across the PS4 and PS5 version.
65% of people who own a PS5 own that game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy.
So Returnal has sold 560,000. So not quite as good, but I don't think they expected this to be hitting 6 million or anything. This is a very different type of game. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart has sold 1.1 million units, and it's only been out for a month.
That's still pretty undersold to me.
Yeah. I could see that.
It's such a good game.
It is very, very good.
It's like in my top 10.
Really? I really enjoyed it.
It's fantastic. I think the fact that it can marry animation like that fluidly to a game, and it feels like you're playing a movie. It does not feel like you're playing a game.
Right.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's only been a month. It's only available on PS5, so that hurts it a bit too.
Sure.
I mean, it just, I'm not sure what's holding it back at this moment, but I bet by the end of the year it'll be up like 4 or 5 mil. Yeah. I would think. And also MLB The Show 21, which is developed by Sony San Diego, has sold over 2 million copies and has 4 million players thanks to Xbox Game Pass.
Which is still crazy that's on Game Pass.
It absolutely is, and I'm sure Xbox had to fork over a shitload of money to make that happen.
Shitload of money.
Especially considering it's a Sony San Diego studio.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Well, so here's the prediction, right? What do we say by Christmas time? Or Christmas time ends?
Consoles sold?
What do we think consoles are at?
Well, like I said, we don't know a definite number for Microsoft because that
How many months has it been for PS5? Let's just do
PS5. It would have been launched in November, so that would be what? 8 months.
8 months.
Almost
okay.
Coming up on 9 months.
Okay, so like 1.12 every month.
If they can keep things going,
I feel like they could keep doing 1.12 every month.
I don't think it would be too surprising to see 15 mil.
No, I agree with you. I don't think it'd be surprising to see 15 or 17 mil by after Christmas.
Yeah, like I think that's definitely feasible.
In Black Friday there. I mean, keep that in mind too, right? I mean, like,
it's
maybe we'll get to a normal-ish Black Friday again. Because I can't even imagine. Yeah. I mean, obviously people buy a ton of shit online, but like, I can't imagine having a normal Black Friday again. What that Black Friday is going to look like.
Yeah.
Because people are going to, people have been shopping online. I feel like people have been shopping online at home so much that they're like, fuck it, I want to go into a store.
Right.
You know? And then they go to a store and they're like, fuck it, I don't want to be in a store anymore. I'm going to shop online. They learn their lesson, but they still want to do it. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I think like 17 mil after Christmas.
I'd say, yeah, it all depends on supply, but it seems like...
Supplies, I can tell you from like the industry that I work in, the supply is getting better.
Right.
So I would feel like...
a lot
of materials will start getting better.
I think within a year of release, I think we'll see 15. By the end of this year, I think we'll see probably pretty close to 17. I think we'll be a little over 15 by year, the year anniversary.
Okay, cool. Fantastic. Crazy to think it's almost a year.
That's
it's
insane.
Wild. Time's flying, dude.
Very crazy.
A year old already. Holy shit. Moving on, guys. Last section before we close out the show. Upcoming game releases. So what can you look forward to this week? So July 30th, you're going to get Draft of Darkness coming to PC and No Longer Home coming to PC. August 3rd, you can look forward to Hunter's Arena Legends coming to PS5 and PS4. Lemnis Gate is coming to PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, PS4, and Xbox One. And Rocket Rumble comes to PC. August 5th, the Falconeer Warrior Edition comes to PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, and the Nintendo Switch. And the Falconeer Edge of the World DLC comes for PC, Xbox Series X, and Xbox One. And Starmancer hits PC. So those are your games, upcoming games for the week. Nothing catches my eye fully on it. I'm going to have to look into these more, but
No, nothing is really grabbing my attention. I mean, I still have plenty of things, hopefully, that don't get delayed that are coming out before the end of the year that I'm looking forward to. But yeah, none of these are on my list currently.
Cool. With that, guys, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Diggity Podcast. You can follow me on PlayStation. My PSN is Maple Jeff Brody.
Mine is Luscious Brody. You can also find me on Xbox at Luscious Brody.
Hell to the yeah, my dudes. At Diggity Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. Follow us there. Leave us a review on iTunes. It helps us out a lot. And on Apple Podcasts. And find us our podcast on every single podcast platform. Leave us a review there too as well on the podcast platform that you use. Helps us out a bunch. Lets people know about our show.